Hey guys, and welcome back to the Pokemon Fab Five. I am your host this evening. My name is Moonlight Swami, and I'm bringing you guys a Psychic Monotype Wi-Fi battle. As you can see, my opponent, he's rocking a Clefable, T-Tar, Tentacruel, Tangrowth, Heatran, and Breloom, facing off against my Monotype team of Metagross, Alakazam, Victini, Slowking, Sigilyph, and, well, I love the Glade. So, let's get this underway, shall we? So he starts off with the Breloom, hits the Spore right off the bat on Metagross. That always sucks, but TH2, he's not going to be going down without a fight. I'm actually going to leave him in. This way, I kind of can wear off the sleep. It's a risky play, because in one essence, he could potentially bring in something to set up on me. Instead, he brings in his Heatran, which won't set up on me, it'll actually go for the attack. Vayne gets burned by his Flame Orb, and I start off with a Cosmic Power. This is the set that I have for my Weather Vayne Sigilyph. It is a Cosmic Power Secret Power, not Secret Power. It is a Cosmic Power set, however, and I do have Psycho Shift on it, but because of Knots using Knockoff on this turn after I set up a second Cosmic Power, I really don't get a chance to do it, actually, third turn. I probably should have instead of Roosting, but he doesn't really have anything that could affect me. Leech Seed doesn't hit. Knockoff, that sucks. But, you know what, it prolongs it a bit. I use Stored Power, which does its mark. It does its mark. It does about more than half, considering that, well, Tangrowth is not a Pokemon that can handle special attacks that well. He gets his leftovers back and gets no Leech Seed because of my Wonder Skin, which is really a blessing in disguise. I don't think he realized until the very end of the battle, but he sends out Drax, his shiny Tyranitar, it's going to be his Mega, sets up the Sand, and that really sucks. I'm going to use Stored Power, thinking that he wasn't going to switch out to at least that, and it doesn't affect him at all. So I bring in Not Sure the Slowking, and Slowking, well, Drax wants no part of him. He's going to bring in Greg. He's going to bring in the Heatran. I'm not really sure why. It seems like a pretty risky play to bring him in. But, you know, whatever. Maybe he wasn't, oh no, he switched in on the same turn, okay. So he's going to take out Greg the Heatran, he's going to bring in Breloom. And anticipating this, I decided to go for a Thunder Wave. I knew that would hit anything pretty much, except for an Electric type. I think except for Electric and Ground, and he doesn't have a Ground type. So I do that to Breloom. And now, with Breloom like this, my Slowking is a special Slowking. It rocks a Scald, Fire Blast, Thunder Wave, and Slack Offset. I know he didn't expect the Fire Blast, and that is a dead-ass Breloom. Breloom never saw it coming, neither did my opponent, and that is a great little tidbit of strategy thanks to the Monotype. You know, when you build a Monotype team, you have to cover all pretty much aspects that can beat you. So, pretty much by having this Slowking having that, it covers grass. It covers its weakness, which is not exactly the most useful. It helps with Steel, it helps with a few things, but it's a little bit easier to catch someone off guard than, say, switching into a Victini and then using V-Create. So, he knocks off my leftover, so I bring back in TH2, my Metagross. TH2 standing for the most powerful supercomputer in the world, considering he has the brain of 4 of them. And thanks to his switch that burns off a turn of sleep, I think, right? Maybe. Not positive. But either way, he Mega Evolves, and he goes with Pursuit, which does decent damage. Metagross eats that up pretty well, and I hit him with the Meteor Mash, and that is a done Tyranitar. Meteor Mash from a Metagross is ridiculous. I get the crit as well. I don't know if that mattered. It probably did. But there goes his Mega, and he brings back out Heatran. And at this point, I'm thinking he's going to expect me to switch, so he goes for the Hidden Power Grass, which I didn't think he had. But instead of going for the Lava Plume, which lets me set up my Light Screen, which means the Lava Plume won't kill me, so that means I can set up my Reflect on the next one. This is actually a Light Clay Metagross with Stealth Rocks and Meteor Mash. So it's a very efficient Metagross against a Fire type, thanks to the Light Screen and him not expecting that. he's going to take out Metagross, and to be honest, I probably shouldn't have sacked him off at this point, and you'll see why in a few minutes, but, you know, it's the way I played it. The Sandstorm subsides, and it's not coming back, so I bring in Mr. Ninja, my Gallade. He wants no part of what Gallade has coming for him, so he sends out Knots, and this Tangrowth is not going to be prepared for this Swords Dance Gallade. Now that I've set up once, with the Life Orb, this is going to be ridiculous. So, Tangrowth is specifically defensive. I know this one is as well. And this Drain Punch does about 70%. I mean, he just went insane on that. And he actually Sleep Powders me, which kind of sucks. But without Metagross being asleep, I guess, you know, it's whatever. My Sweeper's kind of stalled at the moment, which isn't the best thing in the world, but at least my physical Sweeper is stalled. He goes with the Leech Seed. I didn't want anyone to have to deal with a Leech Seed on a switch-in, because I know with Drain Punch I can gain anything back once I wake up, and this way, you know, even if I don't wake up in a turn or two, it's going to take a lot of him regaining health from Leftovers, Leech Seed, and Giga Drain to survive a Drain Punch from me again. So, he's going to use the Giga, and I'm going to probably get that back. He does a lot more damage than I expected on the crit, and that takes him back up to about 70%. He's going to Restore. With that and the Leech Seed will bring him back up to about 85. And this is where the Drain Punch would be so helpful. And I hope I wake up on this next turn. And I do. Good. Hit the Drain Punch. Going to take him down to, I believe, red. Yep, take him down to red. Gain a massive amount of health back. And loose him off the Life Orb. He's going to go for a Giga Drain again. Because it was a crit, it's not going to do as much. But that plus the Leech Seed will bring you down to about 45. And this is about to be a brilliant play on his part. I never saw it coming. So he gets the Leech Seed, gets me down to 46 HP, and Knots gets back up to about 40%, maybe. He brings him out, and he brings out Tentacruel. And I'm thinking, okay, I guess he didn't want his Tangrowth to die because of Regenerator. And I hit the Drain Punch, and I'm thinking, okay. And then I forget, oh my god, he has Liquid Ooze and kills my Gallade. A brilliant move on his part. I mean, now Tentacruel is severely damaged along with the paralysis. But, so it's kind of easy fodder. It probably would have been easy enough fodder for Alakazam regardless. Considering it has Psyshock, which hits defensively instead of special defense. But either way, I use Trace, I get Liquid Ooze, and I didn't really realize that Trace reset after each switch. So I was thinking that if he brought in the Tangrowth, that he could Giga Drain me and he would take the Liquid Ooze if I switch out. But, you know, that's just me being new to Alakazam. And here comes the Clefable. This is my problem. This is the main problem this entire match. And it's all because, well, first off, he Thunder Waves, which sucks for Alakazam. That literally just crippled my already crippled-looking Alakazam. I mean, look at his waist. I mean, I've heard of anorexic, but that's ridiculous. Then he goes with a Soft Boiled, hoping for some Power Hacks or something. I'm going to stay in, I'm going to go for another Psyshock, hoping that it does something, because even though he's HP bulky, his defense is his weak point in terms of where to hit. It doesn't do enough. It does about 40%, so I bring Alakazam back. Unfortunately, he's pretty much crippled for the rest of this match, and I bring back out my Weather Vane. And at this point, this is where the match becomes extremely tedious. Oh my god, it's about to get really bad. So, Clefable is going to hit the Moonblast. I'm going to Roost it off. And thank god that a Fairy is not super effective on Psychic as well. I thought it was at first. But Moonblast, he's going to keep hitting me with that. It's going to do enough damage. Brings me down to 75. I know I'm going to outspeed him, and thanks to my Flame Orb, he can't Thunder Wave me. So, pretty much, this is the Pokemon I'm going to be using for all things status. Because Leech Seed also doesn't work, and I don't get hit by anything like that. Moonblast again. This one will take me down to about 40. About 29. I didn't take that as well as I'd like. But my problem is my special attack keeps dropping. So I'm going to speed this up right here. Because I'm going to just keep roosting. I'm going to keep making him waste his Moonblast. I was hoping Moonblast would be like a 5 or a 10 PP move. And it's a 15. So it's not good. He's going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep Cosmic Powering. And I'm going to just keep roosting it off. Because I really don't want Sigilyph to die. He is basically my best wall that I have. He and Slowking are both pretty damn good. But I'm going to Cosmic Power again. This Moonblast is going to do about 30. Yeah, 30 exactly. I'm going to Roost it off, get all the way back up to 150. And at this point, I've gotten 3 special defense drops. 3 special attack drops. It's going to Flamethrower trying to save some of his Moonblast. And it only does about 20%. That really does nothing. It's really bothersome, this Clefable. And if I hadn't sacked off my Metagross in the first part, I definitely could have beaten him with a Meteor Mash because Metagross is ridiculously strong. And a Meteor Mash would have destroyed it. But I decided to switch out Vayne and end this stall war and bring back Not Sure. So he's going to Flamethrower me, and that's going to do literally nothing. 14 eats that up quite nicely. And at this point, this is going to be a double Thunder Wave attack, which is really weird. We both hit the Thunder Wave off, and this is actually a pretty important moment, I guess. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty important that happened. So his Clefable is now paralyzed, along with my Slowking. And, it's still the battle of 2 walls. He can't move. I'm going to go for a Scald, see what it can do. And the special attack of Slowking does about as much as a 4 Cosmic Power stored power with a 3 special attack drop. That's saying something, but he brings in Knots, and I feel like I should have gone for the Fire Blast, and if I did, Knots would be dead, but I get the burn, so I'm okay with that. I don't exactly want Not Sure to take a big hit from anything that he could dish out, so I'm going to switch in to, I believe I switch back into Vayne, and he's going to go for the Giga Drain. So, good switch on my part. I get away from Giga Drain that would have really not been nice for Slowking to take, even though he has specially defensive wall. This Tangrowth is just a pain in my side. It's a thorn in my side. Thank God the burn hurts. And I'm actually going to switch out from Vayne, hoping that he doesn't do anything really that big. I use Trace, and I get Regenerator. At this point, I really should have thought this one through. He switches into Greg, his Heatran, and this is where this was bad. I should have switched after this hit, because I go for a Focus Blast and I miss, but because he's paralyzed, and even though he has Regenerator, he would have survived another Lava Plume if I switched out and brought him back in later. But I sack off Alakazam, I bring in Not Sure off a clean switch, and at this point, he's going to go for Hidden Power Grass, which is going to do a decent amount of damage. Does about 70. And I hit the Fire Blast, thinking that he was going to switch out. That only boosts his Fire move, so he uses Lava Plume. Lucky me, it doesn't boost everything, otherwise I would have had a dead-ass Slowking, but I hit the Scald at about half health, and it does about 55-60. Pop his Air Balloon, doesn't matter, I don't have a ground attacker on this team. He hits the Hidden Power, and he actually gets a crit, which really sucks. And lucky for me, I slack the damage off, and bring me back up to about 120. Which is good, because I know it's a crit, so I know it won't do as much next time, as long as he doesn't get another one. It does enough, it didn't do half, and I actually get paralyzed, which sucks. And I'm not even going to risk getting crit by this thing again. So I switch out of Slowking and bring in Victini, the itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot Victini. Goes for the Hidden Power Grass, does nothing. And Victini's going to Brick Break and finish off this Heatran. And there goes Greg. So thank God I have this nice Choice Scarf Victini. And that's one way to get rid of him. So Knots comes out. And because I am Choice Scarf, I cannot V-Create and destroy this thing. I'm going to switch out into my Weather Vane, because no matter what he uses, except pretty much anything, it's not going to hurt. Can't hit me with the Sleep Powder, can't really do anything with Giga. I guess Knockoff could have done something to pretty much everyone on my team, but he didn't really use it. Considering everyone is a Psychic type, I would think that he would have wanted to use it a little bit more. If he had knocked off Victini, that actually really would have helped. But he goes for Leech Seed again. And I guess he didn't realize that Leech Seed does not affect a Wonder Skin Sigilyph, which is great for me, terrible for him. He's still burned, so he's going to take that continual damage, and he brings him out, which gives me another shot to boost up my Cosmic Power. And thank you for the paralysis on the Clefable, you'll see in a second. Vayne hits another Cosmic Power, so that's a second. Off the switch, I'm going to get one more up, I think I go for one more. And then I start attacking. Yeah. No, actually, I go for stored power with just 2. And this does a good amount. This does a lot more than it would have. And thanks to the paralysis, he can't soft boil. He can't go for a moonblast. And at this point, I would have soft boiled, but he did not. I hit another stored power, brings him down to about red, just about. And he's going to moonblast. It's not going to do anything on my 2 boosted special defense for Sigilyph, who's already a pretty bulky Pokemon as is. And at this point, another stored power, because I have the speed advantage, will finish him off. There goes Clefable, and he's down to his Tangrowth. So Tangrowth is pretty much done. He's going to bring back Knots, and at full health because of Regenerator, I'm going to go for a stored power. Terrible special defense on Tangrowth. It's about like 50, I think. He's going to go for the knockoff. Won't do anything. He already knocked off my Flame Orb, and it wouldn't have done anything to begin with. He recoups a little bit off the leftovers, but he's going to get the burn damage, and another stored power will finish him off. So that is your battle. This was a really fun battle, Liam. It was really fun. This is my first real battle with a subscriber or anything, so make sure if you guys want to battle me to basically hit me up on Twitter at MoonlightSwami. I'm always down for the challenge. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be talking to you guys later. Peace, I'm out.